Buonasera, signore, buonasera. Com'è bello stare a Napoli e sognare. Quante volte ho sussurrato amore ti amo. Buonasera, signore, kiss me goodnight. Buonasera, signore, kiss me goodnight. Charles, buonasera.
Buona Sera, Lena. Buona Sera. What a great day. What a great day.
It's always a great day when I get to do this show with you.
I have to feel the same way. This has been so special, and we're getting a great response as people hear about it and are watching it. So, and we're now on TV, so we're making inroads.
It's really awesome, Charles, and thank you out there, everyone who's watching the show. We appreciate your support, and be sure to sign up at my website, lenaprima.com, and I'll send it to you once a week in your email. And you can also watch it on YouTube, the Lena Prima channel, and also, Charles, you have it on your channel.
Sicily Journal is our YouTube channel, and it's a great way to watch it. But, you know, Lena, I just want to tell you, you've put together a great variety show that rivals Johnny Carson. So this is a lot of fun.
Oh, Charles. So listen, Charles, my background today is Ragusa Sicily, and it's known as the Two Souls City. One is modern and the other one is ancient. And this duality came after the famous 1693 earthquake, when the Ragusans adopted the 2-by-1 formula. I don't know what that is. One is called Ragusa Superiore, is the new town, and Ragusa Ibla is the ancient town. So do you know anything about Ragusa?
Well, Ragusa is in Sicily, obviously, but I do know that in Guatemala, they have the same thing going. There's Antigua and there's modern Guatemala. So the idea of, hey, we need to redo it, but it's easier just to move the town, that makes a lot of sense. So that's what happens. But you know what I love in the history here is Sicily was America's first international war ally in the Barbary Coast Wars of 1804 to 1815. And there were 3 U.S. bases in Sicily. So Ragusa was there, and a lot of Sicilians fought with the American Marines. So it's a great relationship between Sicily and America.
Well, that's awesome, Charles, that you have this knowledge. I knew you would know some stuff about Ragusa. It's so beautiful. It's on a hilltops. It just looks really nice.
You know, it's on the east side. So I think the deal is to come into Palermo and you do a loop. And the cultural center has trips where you do the whole tour of the island, the perimeter, which would be a great thing to do.
So, Charles, you were in Chicago for a special event. Tell us about what was going on there.
Lena, I have to say this very special event, you know, on March 14th, 1891, 130 years ago, was the lynching in New Orleans. And they put on a tremendous exhibit, and they had Frank Maselli and myself come up there and speak.
Thank you, sir. Our final speaker of the day is also from New Orleans. He's an author, he's a historian, he's a film producer, Mr. Charles Marsala. Thank you, Ron, the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans, and thank you, Chicago. Thank you. New Orleans and Chicago share many things. Chicago's been that place where Armenians come for a platform. In 1915, Nick LaRocca was playing a new type of music, and he was asked to come to Chicago. Here, jazz music became jazz music and went international. Later, Louis Armstrong was playing, and he came to Chicago, and he took Chicago and jazz by storm. And that connection is very strong between New Orleans and Chicago. We thank you for providing us that platform. And we thank you for today, remembering the 1891 lynching of 11 acquitted Italians in New Orleans. That is the most famous of several murders and lynching in Louisiana of Italians in the 1890s. We're here today to show that we stand united to stop the mistreatment of all Americans, of everybody coming here, not just Italian Americans. To honor the legacy of our ancestors who for centuries worked hard, and to respect our forefathers and mothers who contributed to America's success in overcoming tremendous challenges. We will not forget them, and their lives cannot be erased. So thank you all for coming today, and thank you all, elected officials of Chicago, for being here. Thank you.
So Mother Cabrini on the other side of the park was her hospital. There's Our Lady of Pompeii Church. And as you go in the other direction, there's a great shopping area with a lot of Italian restaurants from the park. And they have all the streets kept the original names, but they made them honorary names of Italians. So it's a great, great area. And those are great people. They gave us support to this past weekend for the lynching. It was beautiful, very respectful. They rang a bell in honor of everybody. The Chicago City Council was there. Again, they were cooking food. It was just a really nicely professional, very respectful done way it was presented to us.
Well, that's fantastic, Charles. And I'm glad you got to go and speak.
Thank you, Lena. And I had some great food at Carmine's on Saturday night. We had great food in Little Italy in Chicago for lunch on Sunday. So it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, I've been there many times. It's wonderful. I see that's your background today is Little Italy in Chicago.
I want to give a shout out to Chicago. They're really amazing people up there. And
shout out to Chicago Italians. All right, Charles, I have a check this out today. Charles, I think it's time for some Italian cocktails. So today I'm going to tell you about Italian happy hour. Aperitivo. Aperitivo is Italy's version of happy hour, and it's typically a pre-dinner drink meant to whet your appetite for your evening meal. Since Italians normally have lunch around 1 or 2 p.m., aperitivo starts around 6:30 p.m. and lasts till about 9 p.m., which I think is kind of cool because that kind of gives me license to eat. I've always eaten dinner late, and now I feel good about it because it's an Italian thing.
It's our heritage. We have to.
So aperitivo is meant to stimulate your appetite with drinks and salty snacks like olives and nuts and cheeses before the late dinner. So I have a few Italian cocktail suggestions. The first one, of course, everyone's heard of. It's the Bellini. And it was invented at a place called Harry's Bar, which overlooks the Grand Canal in Venice, by Giuseppe Cipriani. Harry's has been serving cocktails to sophisticated clientele since 1931 and attracted luminaries that include Ernest Hemingway, Truman Capote, Orson Welles, and many more. The Bellini was named after Venetian artist Giovanni Bellini. He used a unique shade of pink in his paintings that was a near match for the color of this classic peach and sparkling wine cocktail that's a mainstay not just in Italy but all around the world.
I love this. Can you imagine having a Bellini with Ernest Hemingway or Truman Capote? What a thrill.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we can have one and think about that.
We will. We can have one with each other.
This next one is called a Spritz Veneziano. The Spritz Veneziano is also known as the Aperol Spritz, or in Italy, simply a Spritz. It became popular as a summer drink in northern Italy and has come to be associated with Italian summer. The Aperol Spritz has a beautiful sunset color and a bittersweet fizzy flavor profile thanks to the use of bitter orange flavored Aperol. Make it with dry Italian sparkling wine, Prosecco, for a bittersweet and refreshing cocktail that will tickle your nose with its bubbles and your taste buds with its flavors. Yum!
I love this. Summer's here.
I know. Does it sound good? This next one is called a Hugo, and it was invented in 2005 in Alto Adige. And it is a fragrant, herbaceous, slightly floral blend of classic Italian ingredients. It's the perfect drink for spring or summer because it's got refreshing mint and a lemon wedge. I love mint.
I do, and I love lemon, though. I have to say,
Me too.
I love lemon. Yes.
Yeah. This next one's called a Pirlo. I can't roll my R, but you're supposed to really roll that R. Pirlo. And it's similar to the Aperol Spritz. The difference is that it contains Campari in place of Aperol. Campari was invented in Brescia, Italy in the 1800s, and it's still produced today in Milan. It is a bitter and infused with herbs and fruit. Campari is more bitter and less sweet than Aperol, with a hint of rhubarb. Which, how cool is that? So this drink makes a very good Italian aperitif. And while it isn't as well known as the Aperol Spritz, it's definitely a delicious alternative to its more famous cousin. So they're cousins.
You always want to drink with your cousins.
So these sound like really yummy cocktails, and you can have an Italian aperitivo.
Oh, I love this. I love this. And I want to recommend a place, Jewel of the South Bar on Rampart, right off of Rampart at St. Louis in the French Quarter.
Yeah.
The gentleman there is an amazing bartender. He's made drinks for many, many years. He was at Arno's and he opened up his own place. Great small plates, but he's also a phenomenal bartender with drinks. So if you want to order those, Chris Hanna knows how to make anything.
Oh, great, Charles. Great suggestion. We have to meet up there.
We do, and there's another drink.
Let's try some of these.
Yeah. We will go drink tasting, Italian drink tasting, and we'll invite our friends. We ought to do a show there.
Let's do it. We're making a plan. We're making a plan now. So, Charles, did you know that when it's time for dinner after your aperitivo, did you know that the Moscow Mule goes great with spaghetti? I did not know this.
I love spaghetti, so I will get a Moscow Mule. Yes.
The spicy, refreshing combination of the ginger beer, the lime juice, and the vodka pairs well with robust Italian meals like sausage fettuccine or veal meatball spaghetti.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something I would have never thought. You always think you have wine with your spaghetti, but who would have thought a Moscow Mule would go good with spaghetti?
I wouldn't have thought that. I'm going to have to experiment and go with that and try it one time.
So try something new, have some aperitivo and late dinner and be Italian. All right, Charles, guess what it's time for? My favorite part. It's Charles Celebrates Culture.
Lena, thank you. And we got so many great people around here, and this week, we have a special person, Beth Utterback of WWOZ and formerly at WYS, and she had actually done at WYS a 1-hour documentary on the Italian culture. So I interviewed Beth, and WWOZ, she's doing phenomenal with them. They're broadcast around the world. She just brings a great heart, but she promotes our culture, and she does a great job. And also, she's a great friend of yours. You brought her to Chow. So tell us.
Yes, I honored her in 2019 Chow Women Awards Diva of the Year. So she got to be honorary Italian of the Year because she is just an amazing woman. I love her energy and her support of all the arts in the community and the music. She is such an amazing person. I just love her.
Yeah, Lena, and I think of the responsibilities. WWOZ takes on the French Quarter Fest, the Jazz Fest. I mean, they take a lot of responsibility for New Orleans music and getting it out there. And she does a phenomenal job of keeping New Orleans heartbeat and sound going. It's just beautiful.
It just makes you feel so special that we have a radio station like this that's just renowned worldwide, that people love it so much. It's such an important thing that they're doing there, and that Beth is in the head of that and doing such an incredible job.
Absolutely. I had a great interview with her, and that place is actually right behind the French Market, which was Little Palermo. So it's right there. If you're in Little Palermo, just walk on in and say hello to WWOZ.
Yeah, just remember you're in Little Palermo.
That's the key. That is the key.
Hi, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. I'm here at WWOZ Studios in the heart of the French Quarter with Beth Arroyo Utterback.
Thank you so much for being here. It's so great to have you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yes.
So Beth, New Orleans is obviously a place where people go to have a great time and have fun. I'm looking at your smile, the energy, and you guys create that.
The wonderful thing about WWOZ is what we like to say is if you can't live in New Orleans, let New Orleans live in you. And one of the things that we're really proud of here is not only bringing New Orleans music and culture to the people in our city and in the state, but people all over the world listen to us and support WWOZ. We not only bring new acts to the world like Tank and the Bangers or Trombone Shorty, which isn't so new anymore, but what we do is we preserve the wonderful jazz, not only Satchmo and Mahalia Jackson, Fats Domino, Dr. John. The thing about WWOZ is that their music's going to live on forever because we just don't play the music when they pass away. That's just part of what we do. So we preserve the culture. Louis Prima you're going to hear. All of these wonderful artists you're going to continue to hear on WWOZ.
And you have people drop in, like Lena Prima will drop in, Irma Thomas drops in.
A lot of times, like an artist will just call, they may have written a new song, or they may just be promoting something, or they just may want to come in for a visit and help us out, and they'll come in and sing a couple of songs for us, or just come talk about what they're doing. It's wonderful. And the great thing, Charles, is that not only is it artists from here, but artists from all over, and fans of the station drop in from all over the place. Yesterday we had somebody from Hong Kong here, just that loves the station and listens in Hong Kong, and decided to come by and see us. People just see the sign, because we're right here in the middle of the French Market. They feel part of OZ, so they want to come and see what it looks like.
So you guys are an integral part of Jazz Fest.
We are. You know, we are owned by the Jazz and Heritage Foundation, and so we're obviously like intricately involved in not only Jazz Fest, but also broadcasting Jazz Fest to the world, because as much as we love for people to come visit New Orleans and attend Jazz Fest, it's not practical for everybody. So the wonderful thing is that we broadcast live every day of Jazz Fest so that people all over the world can feel like they're at the Jazz Fest. But the great thing about OZ is that you could hear it live while it was happening. And that's one of the things that we're so proud that we do here, not only with Jazz Fest, but being here in the French Quarter. We broadcast live from the French Quarter Fest. We also broadcast live from the Crescent City Blues and Barbecue Festival. We do a lot with the Satchmo Fest as well, which is every August here. So we're very involved in the community.
The Jazz Museum must be a big windfall for you guys.
Well, the Jazz Museum and WWOZ work closely together. You know, we always are there to help promote all of their exhibits that have anything to do with the music and culture of New Orleans. And so, you know, they're great friends of ours.
I understand that the Louis Prima exhibit,
oh, yeah,
you're part of that.
We love Louis Prima here at WWOZ. When Louis Prima exhibit came, we worked very hard with the Jazz Museum to promote that exhibit and let people know about it. And it's really a phenomenal exhibit. It's so wonderful to have them like a block away, because here we are keeping the music of Louis Prima alive to the world, helping to keep that music alive, and then having this beautiful exhibit right down the street. It just all ties in so beautifully.
And there's one other gentleman, and that was Cosimo Matassa.
Yes.
And he had a studio not too far from here.
Well, you know, Cosimo Matassa over on Rampart Street, he's like an integral part of New Orleans music. And, you know, he merged everything into what they called like the New Orleans sound, basically. He not only worked with Little Richard, but of course Fats Domino, Irma Thomas. There's so many wonderful New Orleans stories, and Cosimo Matassa certainly should not be forgotten.
Absolutely, and it's great that we've continued with WWOZ being in the French Quarter to have that heartbeat or that soul right in the center where all this music comes from.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I agree. And I always love it when people see our sign and just decide to just pop on up and they say, you know, like, I'm a member from Wyoming, or I listen to you all the time from California, or I've come all the way from Germany, and I saw your sign. I couldn't not pass without coming to say hi and how much we love to listen to your station.
Great.
It's like the soundtrack of so many people's lives, and we really we appreciate that, and we value that, and we take that very seriously.
Yeah. Well, Beth, I want to thank you for being on the show, and thank you for individually what you've done for New Orleans through your career with WYS and now with WWOZ, and for what WWOZ does.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here, and thank you for doing what you're doing and telling our stories.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Celebrating Culture.
Well, yay, Beth Utterback. We love you, and we thank you.
We do love you, Beth.
Thank
you
you
for
so
everything.
much.
Celebrating Culture is brought to you by Awe News. Awe News also produces New Orleans Insider Tours, which are 10 self-guided tours of New Orleans and Louisiana. To download the apps, all you have to do is point your phone at the flow code in the camera mode, and you're ready to really experience Louisiana.
That was a great interview you did with Beth. That was wonderful.
Her energy was so much fun. It was one of the better interviews we've done, and we've done 200 of them. She, again, you just have to appreciate, again, Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest, all the things that they bring to keeping New Orleans alive in that French Quarter throughout the world. It just keeps us in her heart. She is fabulous.
She is fabulous, and thank you, Beth Utterback, for all that you do for us.
Thank you, Beth.
All right, Charles, it's time for La Musica today. And today we're featuring a friend of mine who I've worked with many times and known for many years. His name is Ray Massa. It's Ray Massa and the Eurorhythms. And Ray was born and raised in Bel Air, Ohio, and his Italian parents immigrated from Campania, a small village called Campolataro, and he started his own group in 1982 while he was attending college at Ohio State University, and his goal was to try to meet some Italians so that he could feel at home in a new city full of strangers. He knew and loved many Italian songs from repetitious playing of the albums his family brought with them from Italy. And Ray inspired his group to help him rearrange the traditional songs with a higher energy pop sound with the hope of attracting younger Italian Americans to the wonderful treasure of Italian music. They were very successful at achieving this goal and are featured nationally at Italian festivals all across the country, revitalizing the mystique and romantic excitement of Italian music and attracting audiences of all ages with their dynamic and energetic style. So the group is Ray Massa, who plays accordion, organ, and he sings. Tony DeMelfi is lead vocals and also plays trombone. Tommaso Davoli plays guitar, mandolin, keyboards, and he also sings. Gaetano Nicolosi plays drums and sings. Jerry Parsons plays bass and sings. Jay Miglia plays the saxophone, and David Miller plays the trumpet. Big band.
Big band. Big band.
And they're fantastic. And we've been on stage together, and they're just so much fun. They're really bringing that music to younger audiences, and it's great what they're doing. And let's watch some of their video.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Out there. Everybody get some hands up. Yeah. All right, you guys in the circle, bring it in the middle, put your hands up high. Hands back. Don't hurt anybody. Do it again. Hands back. Yeah. Let's move it to the right. Everybody over there. Get up there.
la luna mezzo mare, mamma mia, me maritare. Picchia mia con cantare, mamma mia, mezzaccia con se tu pelo un po' lenzino, io vai, io bene, se mi scoperto non mi bene. Cavolo quando si riscoperti e vigliuzza me. Allora, oh mamma, pesce fritto baccalà. Oh mamma, pesce fritto baccalà. Oh mamma, mi voglio maritare. Trovamma una guagliotta che mi voglio maritare. Trovamma una guagliotta che mi voglio maritare.
Boy, aren't they fun?
Unbelievable. And you're right. He got the young people. Do you see the young girls that were doing it on the side, and they got everybody holding hands? I've never seen a crowd that big.
Yeah. You know, Charles, when I moved to New Orleans and I started performing at the Italian festivals around here, and I saw everybody doing the tarantella, I was just amazed, because when I was a kid, the only time I ever saw that was when I was with my dad as a little girl on New Year's Eve on stage. Wherever he was playing, we were with him, and we'd be on stage with him, and he would play C'è la Luna, and everybody would move the tables and chairs, and they would, in their gowns and tuxedos, start doing the tarantella, and he'd play C'è la Luna. Then he'd go into Hava Nagila. Then he'd go into the Mexican hat dance. And everybody would be going crazy doing all these dances. But that's how I remember the tarantella happening, and I had never seen it until I moved to New Orleans.
It was so big here in New Orleans, and actually they did it. The Elenians did it at their annual Christmas, where everybody's in a tuxedo and they're the formal gowns doing the tarantella and wedding. It is a hallmark at weddings, Italian wedding. You have to do the tarantella. It is a great dance, but I have never seen that many people as just did in Portland do the dance. It was phenomenal.
Absolutely. I love it. It makes me so happy to see that. And you have to follow Ray Massa and the Eurorhythms on Facebook. And if you get a chance to go see them when all the festivals are coming back, please go, because they're the great. They'll get you in that spirit.
Absolutely, Lena. Absolutely.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, Ray Massa, for what you're doing, and keep it up. Keep it going.
And I want to point out that there's a lot of Massas in New Orleans area and up to Baton Rouge. So that's an interesting name. I bet he's got some cousins down here.
He needs to come here.
He does. And we need to hook him up and have a Massa family reunion where all the Massas do the tarantella.
We'll have the Massa festival, and he'll play, and then he'll meet his cousins.
That's it. Perfect.
We can do it, Charles.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, thank you, Charles. I enjoyed the show today so much.
I love it, Lena. I mean, and the talent you're bringing in is just great. I love what they're doing for us, and highlighting our culture and our heritage. This is a great opportunity to feature some leading Italians. Thank you.
And thank you as well, Charles. What you're doing is fantastic.
Maybe one day the word professional Italian is starting to be used a little bit.
I like it. I think you are a professional Italian, really.
I'm going to end with this. One other thing I learned in Chicago this week, Lena, was James Bond was inspired by an Italian frogman from World War II, from the Italian Navy.
Really?
Everything is Italian.
That's cool, Charles. James Bondini.
That's it, Bondini.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody, and we will see you next week with an all-new show.
Yes, thanks. See you soon.
Ciao.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Buona sera, signore, kiss me goodnight.
Hi, I'm Lena Prima. My music is available on Amazon and iTunes, also BasonStreetRecords.com and LenaPrima.com. Please like my Facebook page, Lena Prima Official, and follow me on Instagram at Lena Prima. I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lena Prima. Thank you so much. Ciao.
There's a lot more to see and do outside New Orleans. New Orleans Insider Tour app actually has numerous other places to visit, such as Lake Pontchartrain, where New Orleans was discovered. With these apps, you can really experience all Louisiana has to offer.